Well, we said we want to talk about it, but we're talking about it. So anyway,
let's talk about Marvel doing chromium covers again. Let's talk about that. Can we talk about that?
That's true. Although I want to be careful because they're coming out with a foil cover for Ash Saves Obama.
It's already started.
It started. It's
fucking 90. All right, 2 years from now, the show's not going to be around because the industry's going to be dead again.
Someone said they're going to do the 90s right this time.
Yeah, bullshit. Yeah, there's only one way you can do it, and it's all going to end up the same exact way, and it's just going to kill the industry.
See, to me...
And to me, it's not... It was like 15 years ago that this happened.
Right.
It's like, doesn't anybody remember?
Yeah.
Joe Quesada was in the industry at that point when everything collapsed, and he doesn't... it's just so frustrating, because why are we just going through these things over and over and over again?
Well, my thing is, if you say you want to do the 90s right, and you want to bring back chromium covers, you know how you do it right, and you know how you bring back chromium covers? You make that chromium cover the standard on every book. That everyone gets that special cover. That's how it was back in the 90s. No, but I'm saying, instead of saying you have to get, that's your variant, no, make that the cover everybody gets. Because...
But that's what they did in the 90s, and it still kills shit. No, like Venom Lethal Protector #1 had the red glossy chromium cover, and every issue of #1 was like that. There was no variance. That was the issue, and it still killed the industry.
No, but
how about just not do them? Period.
So it wasn't a variant, you mean, or
no? It wasn't a variant. That's how every #1 issue that shipped for that Venom Lethal Protector #1 was all chromium. Every single copy was. Okay. So it doesn't make any difference if they make the variants chromium or if they make the regular books chromium. How about just not do it? How about just fucking tell good stories?
Well, I mean, saying
to raise the quantity of books that you sell.
I don't know.
Gimmicks. They're all just cheap fucking gimmicks, and this is again just another way that Marvel is pushing it to see how much more money they can get out of fucking idiot fanboys. It's the only other way I can put it. I can't be nice about it anymore. I will next week. I'll be nice about it. But it's just getting to the point where, seriously, like how much more can they do to you before you finally say, I'm done, I give up, I don't want this?
But see, and you're absolutely right. And that's why you had so many people fall out of comic books back in the 90s, and you had this sort of renaissance in comics where people, I mean, how many people do I know came to me and say, oh, Elliot, can you tell me about some books? Because you know what? I stopped reading them a long time ago, and I want to get back into them again. And you saw this resurgence in the market where people were getting back into comics, and now that that's happening, they're going back to doing all the things that drove people away from comics in the first place.
Right, and to go along with that, the whole renaissance, I mean, for the longest time, when the glut just killed the 90s, and there were just all the fucking covers, the stories were awful, the art was awful. Yeah. So, in a way, it did make comics better because you actually had creators, you had stuff like The Authority coming out, and books like that were just, they were starting to be written really, really well again. And now it's kind of like, it's so hard to, when we do reviews here, we try to tell you guys what we think is really good, and there's not really a lot of good, it's getting kind of that point where, for every Agents of Atlas that you have, there's at least 20 books that should just leave the industry, that should just be gone. And unfortunately, Agents of Atlas will be the one that's gone, while the other 20 awful titles will still be around in about a year.
How has Agents been doing on sales? I mean, I know it hasn't broken the top 10, it hasn't, not the top 20 or the top 30. I mean, is it in the top 50?
I can tell you right now
because we talk about this, that there are a lot of really good books out there, but they don't get the attention that a lot of the mainstream stuff gets because, quite frankly, they don't sell. And which goes back to the argument that we had in our last Rants, that people go for things. The stuff that sells really well isn't necessarily the best, which kind of, which brings up the whole art versus commerce argument, which is kind of saddening for me that you have some books that are really, really good, but because they don't have the same marketing push, they don't seem to have the same creator recognition that others have, they don't meet the success that they should, even though
Number 60.
Number 60. Well, at least it's in the top 100 then.
Yeah.
Does it say how many copies it sold?
No.
Okay.
You have to go like the IBC2, in the Diamond Catalog, they just list the top 100, and they don't say the units sold or anything like that.
Well, yeah, at least it cracks the top 100.
Yeah, which is good.
So, comics are something that we love, that we engage in as a hobby. Sometimes I think we get a little out of hand. We start equating them with life.
Really? Never.
Yeah.
You never got it.
When we talk about it here, I know some people take issue with us and the things that we say and the things that, that
Well, then start your own talk show, and you can, go ramble on about what the hell you want to talk about. Until then, just shut it.
We here say the things that we say out of a passion for the books, and while I concede we are the minority and people don't always agree with us, that's a great thing about living in a country where we can say how we feel and people can express their opinions, and hopefully by expressing those opinions getting a dialogue going about comic books so that books like Agents of Atlas get noticed, so we can talk about the things about prices that we get angry about, and who knows what happens. But still, we are but the small blip on the radar screen as far as the YouTube channels go. You ever notice how the channels with those really cute girls talking into a camera all the time, those are the ones that have like thousands and thousands of views on them?
And hundreds and hundreds of subscribers.
Hundreds and hundreds of subscribers.
What's fanboys?
And the fangirl. I don't begrudge the fangirls channel popularity. There's some fangirls out there who are doing comic review books that I think they're it's pretty cool to have them do it. But
I agree.
Yeah, but the fanboys
it takes all kinds.
The fanboys who are commenting on there being kind of crude. I've read some of the comments that they leave. It's kind of
I'd hit you.
I hit that
from behind. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. God bless them. There's girls out there who do, like Variant Girl is starting up her YouTube channel, and I think that women doing comic reviews, it's just the way the industry is set up. I mean, they have it a little bit tougher going into it because fanboys are so crass and just immature.
Be.
No, most of them are.
Not all.
I said most of them.
Okay.
I didn't say all. I said most of them. And and they're out there and they're talking about what they like, but it's a sexist industry, and that's totally reflected in the fan base. Unfortunately, but I'm glad that they're doing what they're doing, and it's good to see women out there reviewing books and doing their own blogs and doing everything that they can, even though that they're kind of fighting the uphill battle in the industry, in the comic industry. And I just hope all that work and hoping that them doing all that is going to change stuff in the near future.
And an interesting statistical anomaly occurred on our site not that long ago.
With the Wonder Woman video?
With the Wonder Woman video, where our viewership suddenly, somehow, someway, this is why I call it an anomaly.
Yeah.
We, looking at the statistics for our site, our channel, 51% were male viewers, 49% female.
For the week and a half that we did the last rants about Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman that some fanboys got tired of talking about. Yet there were a lot of female viewers who were watching it who really enjoyed it,
which is really cool.
But here was the other part. The majority of those female viewers, according to YouTube, were 65 and older. So. Which I think is just a case where people aren't
putting... still want to tell their age.
They don't put their real ages
right.
on there, yes. You're getting tired of cyber stalkers and stuff like that, so you put, like, you're 100 years old
right.
on something. So that's why I think a lot of female viewers did that. But I just found that interesting that, we have a substantial following among the elderly female fangirl community. They're looking at their screens and they're going, we'd hit that.
And I would let you. Unfortunately, that's how bad things have gotten for me. Wheelchair, walker, it don't matter. It's all good.
Gum me. I like gums. Just take the dentures out, please. Take them out first.
All right, we're done. I'm done with that. That's disgusting.
Okay, folks. Just so you know, we will be going on a brief hiatus until I get back from San Diego. But the Comic Culture Warrior...
Oh, the blog!
Blog is still going. Jose will be online on the blog, making
God.
posts, talking to you guys just because I'm gone. I will try to also put updates on the blog from San Diego. And also will be blogging on my Red Eye blog. If you go to redeyechicago.com/geek2me, I'll be blogging there as well. You can also email us through the Comic Culture Warrior channel. You can send us emails at comicculturewarrior@gmail.com. And
since we're not going to be taping videos next week, because he's going to be in San Diego, I'm trying to think of some of the review. A lot of reviews will be up by me. I actually have to type them out, and it's man, the blog shit's a lot of work, man. It's a lot. To me, it's fun, but it's a lot of fucking work. But Amazing Spider-Man 600 comes out this week. Hulk 600 by Jeff Loeb comes out this week. I'm going to review that. I think that'll be pretty fun. And I know there's at least a couple other books that are coming out this week that I can't think of off the top of my head right now that I will definitely be reviewing. But those are the two big ones. 2 600 issues.
So even though we won't be posting videos, we are still on the internet. We are still reachable. You can message us. You can write to us. You can comment. We are still around. All right. Until my return, this has been Elliot and Jose coming to you from Dreamland Comics in Schaumburg, Illinois. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again.